my shadow magnified in size right here, appearing underneath the sink, and it's also on the wall over here. That's the significance of the dryer. It's called audible activity. And attention to the co-conspirator of murder, the entity that walks into the bathroom, fully aware of all the damning evidence that I capture every day and that I also capture dutifully, diligently today. Which is December 10, 2025. It's 10:07 a.m. This is impossible light activity that's not caused by ordinary artificial light, okay? These are demons that come into a bathroom to maintain surveillance and are stalking obsessively, not only because they've conspired my murder, and now they're engaging in sexual violence and harassment with knowledge of the documentation. That's speaking to a criminal purpose beyond what is the original objective, which the government is not getting away with and they're not going to commit. This is vagina monitoring that Jason Isaac Fields sponsors, that he's been profiting from. Tracy Banks, the same with Mike Lorenz, the city of Ontario that has a fake son over this library right now. Every employee is engaged in that, and they share in that sexual violence and the communication of a threat and harassment while they're monitoring genitalia in a bathroom, and do so in the engineer light that's speaking to the unlawful purpose, because this is not normal light. So this supersedes the fact that you're just in here relieving yourself. You're engaged in gang stalking. So let's view the fake son where the entity is engaged in that. This old video over here, monitor. Okay, engaged in years of it. She's engaged in monitor as an entity that goes into the bathroom to maintain surveillance and harassment and a threat. They're conspiring your murder. Going into the restroom is an unlawful threat to your life and safety while they keep your genitalia under surveillance. The staff members go inside of the adjacent restrooms. The vagina monitors remain in position in the male restrooms where the entity is maintaining that impossible light activity. Just like this, maintaining impossible light activity. And see how my shadows reach in front of me up onto the wall? Those are vagina monitors. And the employees, Natasha, is gang stalking and vagina monitoring, and she's also engaged in a kidnapping. She's going to federal prison. That's called relevant positioning under a fake son. Mentally ill behavior. Those are demons. These are the demons under the fake sun at the square, stalking in the path. Tracking my steps and stalking as an entity is proven through what is a scientific impossibility that the sun would be over the same entrance. Remember, not only is it over here, that's not on 240 North Euclid Avenue, that's engineer light, the evidence of the pattern of conduct. Parking garage filled with engineer light for the gang stalking purposes of Sarah's Regis group that's keeping my vagina under surveillance. And the entity has the fake sun over me, as I documented on Sunday at 1 o'clock, where the Ontario police are engaging in surveillance with the people of the state that go inside of restrooms and surround restrooms and pace inside and outside in engineer light, which is what all of this is, while the entity keeps a fake sun from sunrise until sunset, which I've documented at the sex offending facilitating venue, OVITT Family Community Library. Kidnapping was committed here on June 16, 2022 at 10:29 a.m. by the gang members who are stalking me, which you see on an ongoing, ceaseless basis. The Ontario police with the OVITT Family Community Library, like Natasha, who was still engaging with a conspiracy to murder me by stalking and harassing and terrorizing me inside of the bathroom. Moreover, because I'm documenting damning evidence. That's the ongoing incentive behind gang stalking when you are mentally ill and you are hostile as you are exposed for stealing from me, losing in cases that I have yet to include myself and testify in, which I will be, and I'm also going to put you in prison. This is where the airport is stalking. This is where the airport is stalking with the people. This is where the police department and the fire department are stalking with the people. This is P.O.C. And they are communicating what is, well, the fact that they engage in such acts of terrorism, system of terrorism with minor children. This is what the entity is openly exposing. Understand this is a calculated, this is what they do with impossible light. This is psychopathic pacing, where the city of Ontario is under the fake sun at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. They're sharing in that pattern of conduct. This is P.O.C. It is 10:12 a.m. Vagina monitoring the sexual violence committed with minor children in furtherance of murder, which OVITT Family Community Library maintains the pattern of conduct at all times. On behalf of the city of Ontario, this is P.O.C. Vagina monitors. Sex offenders are state actors. Be clear, the government is engaged in sexual violence and incentivizes sexual violence and facilitates sexual violence while simultaneously maintaining the illusion of a criminal justice system to punish sex offenders, and the government itself is a sex offender. Alrighty, this is P.O.C. That's the entity that's engaged in what is psychopathic pacing and engineer light, which fills the library in and out of the administration door, where they're keeping my vagina under surveillance as well, stalking with the demons that come inside, maintaining position. in the engineer light, the silence. Remember, the entity at 10 o'clock has the sun outside of the Ontario Airport Inn at 9:56 a.m. And I'm reminding you about Gregory that's gang stalking me, committing kidnapping as an entity, doing so while they are stalking with the Ontario Police Department. And the sun that's at the Ontario Airport Inn outside of that window of the showing the 10 freeway at Archibald Avenue in particular is not going to create any sunlight, nor is it going to be now over the back portion of the library, speaking to everybody inside of this building that is stalking. That's not sunlight. By virtue of the position of this fake sun that has nothing to do with this light source, it's totally distinct. Stalking everybody in the building. Not only that, the sun is placed at an entirely different location at the same time and for the duration of the day, such as Ontario Airport Inn. Kidnapping on June 16, 2022 with the Ontario Police Department. Engaged in ongoing vagina monitoring, as I'm documenting, as an entity, that is, engaged in Title 18 federal stalking with the intent to obstruct justice, threaten, harass, and terrorize. While they engage in keeping my vagina under surveillance, they are not keeping custody of children. And they are also going to be deported, and like the kidnappers at OVITT, they're going to prison. This is the entity that has the fake sun moving rapidly from the front to the back. This is an extraordinarily large building. So that is no small thing. That is relevant to the moving fake sun, keeping me under surveillance as I move inside of the venue from front to back. And you also know that it's still over this venue. That's what I've captured after 6 p.m. This is P.O.C. It is currently 10:14 a.m. This is the entity that's exhibiting its mental illness through stalking with light, through stalking in bathrooms, by stalking in planes and helicopters, by stalking as an entity. This is P.O.C. This is mental illness exposed. Alrighty, it is 10:14 a.m.